Hello, and welcome to What's Your Story. We have a very interesting guest for you today. She is an experienced mind detox practitioner, a meditation teacher, a well being coach, and a retreat facilitator with a vast knowledge of holistic therapies and techniques. And she uses her skills to help you heal and transform your mind and your body. So let's welcome her, Nikki Hillhouse. Hi, Nikki.
Hi, Judy. Good to see you. Thank you for allowing me to be here and to share.
Thank you. Well, we're so excited to have you here. One of the things I wanted to talk to you about is what your biggest obstacle was in uh, what made your life what it is today. How did you get into all of this mind detox practicing and meditation, and what brought that on?
Okay, a bit of a story, but if I go back 9 years ago, I basically decided to change my career path. Where I am today transpired through my own traumas, and a major trauma for me at the age of 31, I suffered a stroke. And I'd gone to an osteopath for a general appointment, and she did some manipulation on my neck. And unfortunately, it punctured the artery, and I suffered a deep brain stroke. So my life was completely turned upside down at the age of 31. And I was in nursing, and I spent many, many years in and out, 15 years actually, in and out of hospital, pain clinics. And I just got to the point really when my sort of last resort with the medical team was we're going to do something called a deep brain stimulation, because they tried me on every other drug, and I was a bit like a guinea pig. That's not working, let's try this for you. So a deep brain stimulation was all about, I think there's something to do with they put a coil up through the rib cage up into the brain, and then they fit this little device in your abdomen. So when you're in pain, you click the button and the pain disappears. So to me, I just thought that sounded amazing. But because after 15 years of being in pain, it just sounded like it was a great option. But my partner on that day actually asked, "Is there any complications?" And the reply was, "Well, yes, you could die in operating theatre. You could
Oh,
be severely disabled for life, or it could work. It could help your pain." So the word "could" wasn't what we were looking for. So yes, that was 9 years ago when I had the last news of what they could do for me. And that's when I decided to take action and literally step into my power and become the CEO of my own health. So I went on my own health and wellness journey, and everything that I teach my clients today is all the tools and techniques that I learned on my journey to health and wellness. So that's sort of really how I got into my mind detox practitioner, my meditation, and my wellness retreats. And it was all through what I learned myself on my own journey. Yeah.
that's amazing. It doesn't sound like it was a very pleasant experience, but I'm glad you got through that. And what were the greatest lessons that you learned in all of that?
The greatest lessons. Do you know what? I think it's seen that I was resilient, and I had like this inner strength within me to know that no matter what I was doing, that I could find a way to heal and take control of my health and not give my power away. I think I was giving my power away to so long to so many people, people pleasing the doctors, trying to, do everything right. So I think the lessons I took away was knowing that I was a lot stronger and resilient than I gave myself credit for. And a big one, I think, was asking for help, because I spent many, many years in suffering, and I was trying to do it all my own way, and, being very stoic and just getting on with it. And I think that comes from my half Irish and half Scottish background. My mum and my grandmother was like, you just get on with it, plod on. But I think we need to ask for help, and it takes courage to be vulnerable and say, look, I'm struggling. I need some help. So the lessons that I took from that is ask for help. We are not all superwoman all the time, and we need to like sometimes reach out and ask for the help at the same time as doing our inner work. So for me, that was like a really big part of the catalyst for change and helping myself.
My goodness. I've noticed lately that more and more younger women are having strokes. And I find that interesting because when I was growing up, it was like older people that had strokes. And now we're seeing that it's is that caused from stress, do you think, that so many younger women?
Um, I think for me personally, it was obviously it wasn't through stress. It was
Right,
the natural manipulation that the practitioner had done a
right.
high, they'd done the maneuver and caused me to have a stroke. But I think a lot of today, you know, we have diabetes, heart attack, strokes, so many things out there now, and I think it is down to our lifestyle and the workload that we take on, and a lot of stress, you know, that can really add to it. So yeah, there's a lot of young people now, isn't there, with strokes,
Yes, it's really
cancer, lots of different.
surprising how many. Yeah. What is unique about your coaching approach? You approach this totally different than other people. What is unique about it?
Yeah, I'm all about a mind body approach. Um, I sort of take it like as a three-prong approach. I have my coaching, the therapy, and the spirituality. So the coaching is all about how can I help? And then we have the therapy, which is someone might say, why? Why am I ill? Why do I have stress and anxiety? And that would be where the mind detox would come in there because it's all about the subconscious mind. And then I have the spirituality side, which is who am I? Because a lot of people genuinely think, well, I don't know who I am anymore. Especially a lot of people, and especially women who, for instance, they've, you know, the children have flown the nest, so they have empty nest syndrome, and they think, okay, I've lost my, you know, I'm not a mum anymore. I'm not, you know, what's my purpose in this life? So I have a little bit, it's all about having like the right tools at the right time. So I mix it around a lot. It depends what somebody's there to, you know, just see what happens in the moment. And it could be a physical situation they're going through, a health problem. It could be a lot of unhealthy beliefs they're hanging on to, relationship problems. Like I say, meditation with the who am I, the spiritual side of it. So I have a little bit of a different approach, yeah, when I do
Mm.
my work.
Yeah, yeah. I have a friend that's been visiting me recently, and whenever I complain about an ache or a pain, she says, "What would Louise Hay say about that?" Um, so I know Louise Hay was another era, but many of us knew what she was saying, and I believe she was basically saying something about that mind body connection. You know that what we think about is what we bring about. And is that what your mind detox is all about? Is clearing out things in the mind that make it healthier in the body?
Absolutely. It's all about, I sort of refer to myself a bit like a gardener. It's like pulling up the weeds. We're pulling up the weeds, and then what we're doing is we're planting these beautiful, healthy seeds. And we're allowing like the sunshine, the water, you know, all these beautiful, healthy and health and wellness thoughts to go in there so we can then flourish and allow our bodies to heal. And like Louise Hay would say, I mean, a lot of our what we think we feel and what we feel we experience. So if someone, for instance, is having lower back pain, and that's all about lack of support. Where in my life do I not feel supported? Or it could be you're not supporting others. Headaches, what's going on in my mind? Hip pain is all about progression, not moving forward. Knees is all about balance and support. There's lots of different, you know,
Mhm.
lots of different ways to it. But I think nowadays a lot of people are looking more at, in a holistic approach to their health and wellness, and looking at, you know, looking at their life and thinking, right, what am I eating? What am I drinking? Who do I associate myself with? Am I in a healthy environment? Are my friends supporting? Do they lift me up, or are they quite toxic? So it's having a whole holistic approach to your mental, physical, you know, and your spiritual well-being, really.
It's important, isn't it, to surround ourselves with positive people? But how do we get rid of the toxic people if we're related to them or married to them or they're our child? I mean, you can't just get rid of them. So what can you do to protect yourself?
I think it's, you know, we all have those family members that press our buttons, don't we?
Yeah.
I think everybody has that, and it's life, isn't it? It's what's going to happen, but it's how we respond to it that's key. It's how we actually respond to what's happening. I'm all about, downloading positive virtues that life's inviting you to be. So let's just say that someone has a family member who are pushing your buttons, and they think that they're in the, they think that they're in the right, they're right what they're saying. So you can either argue back with them and go, or you can just accept what they're saying and maybe download maybe acceptance, something like that for them, and just see that, they mean well. We've just got different opinions, different points of views, but it's how we respond, because we need to prioritize our peace. That's why I will say prioritize your peace, because if we let other people get in there and get into our energy field, we're allowing them to do that. So it's, even though people can be really annoying and push your buttons, it's how you respond to it. Maybe respond in a more loving, which can be hard sometimes, a more compassionate and loving way, and see that maybe they have issues going on themselves, because people tend to mirror back when people are hurting, they tend to hurt others. When people are kind, they're kind to others. So it's like a two-way mirror, really.
It really is. What messages do you have for people who are struggling right now?
What messages do I have? What I would say is reach out. Don't suffer in silence. A lot of people think that what they're going through is no one else is going through it and they're on their own. But that's not true. There's so many of us have been in our entanglement mess, and we think that we're the only people going through it. So I'd say reach out to a friend, a family member, a coach, and it's all about taking the first step as well. Sometimes when we've all got this inner resource within ourselves to help ourselves, but when we're caught up in it, we can't often see that. So it's taking control and being proactive as well, because I tend to say this to my clients, I can hold the space for you and be there to help you, but ultimately it's down to you to take action, to take responsibility for your health and your wellness. So I'd say just reach out, know that you're not alone, and never suffer in silence, never, because we're not alone. We're not alone.
Can you share with me a milestone that actually changed your personal and professional life tremendously?
Um, what I would say was my stroke was probably the catalyst that propelled me forward in my healing journey. But one of the milestones for me was basically getting off all the medication that I was on. It was that empowerment part of taking my power back and knowing that I could live a beautiful life no matter what had happened to me without all that medication, because the medication was making me very poorly. So the milestone for me really was, it took me 5 years. It took me 5 years to reduce all my medications and become medication free. So that was a massive sort of milestone for me, I would say, definitely in my health and wellness journey.
Yes, I think sometimes we get over medicated in this day and age, and we don't, we trust the doctors, but sometimes we go to many different doctors, and they all give us some medication, and that all doesn't work together so well. So I'm really a believer in a more naturopathic type, holistic medical treatment than a lot of people. Do you find that do you recommend to people more about paying attention to their diet, not eating packaged foods, or what are your particular beliefs about food and how that affects us?
Absolutely. When I went on my healing journey, I then went and studied nutrition, health, everything I could about nutrition, because that's the first step that I did to start to heal myself. I completely changed my diet, and I went on an alkaline diet. And I often say to clients, "What are you eating?" And they go, "What do you mean? What am I eating?" And if you're eating what I call beige foods, a lot of carbohydrates, the beige foods, the potatoes, the bread, a lot of carbohydrates, but you're not getting the essential fats and you're not getting all your greens, your fruits, your vegetables, how do you expect the body to heal itself? And a lot of people with depression and mental health, They, it's all about education, really. They don't know that the foods that they're eating is actually making them, let's say, probably worse, actually. So it's putting the right nutrients in your body. Yeah, it's all about, like you're just saying there, Judy, it's a holistic approach. It's taking that holistic approach to everything, what you're eating, drinking. We can all fall off the wagon a little bit in a way and eat some junk food, but ultimately, if you want to get back to healing yourself mentally, emotionally, physically, you need to be eating a really well balanced, nutritious diet. Yeah.
And does water affect our brain? I mean, if we're not getting enough water, does that affect our mind, body, consciousness?
Absolutely, absolutely. If we're not hydrated, we start to dehydrate, don't we? And we start to feel quite nauseated, quite dizzy, tiredness can set in. A lot of people feel like they're hungry when actually they're thirsty because they haven't drunk enough. And you say, oh, I had maybe 2 glasses of water and 5 cups of coffee or something. You're like, that's not enough. We need to keep hydrating ourselves. All the cells in our body need to be hydrated, with water in order for it to function optimally. Yeah, definitely a lot of water and good quality water as well.
Yes,
I wouldn't advise tap water or anything like that.
especially in some of the areas we have in America, the tap water in some places is pretty bad. Others, it's not so bad. Um, you're a part of the Women Thrive movement, right? Uh,
I am, yes. I will be a speaker next year, yes.
yes, you're going to be speaking in March, I think it is next year. Will you be speaking on this subject, Nikki?
Do you know, I'm probably going to be talking a lot about the hidden causes of bad health and what we do to our, all these sort of hidden causes, which is unhealthy beliefs, an unresolved past, an unwanted present, and probably a lot about an unloved body because we tend to get hung up on what we look like. And when I do the spiritual side of when I'm meditating, when I teach meditation, we're a lot more than this physical form. This is just a vehicle. So I'll be bringing lots of different elements into it, but lots of tools and techniques to help people more with, I think, unhealthy beliefs and body beliefs, stress beliefs, that type of thing.
Yeah, I like that you said unloved body. Isn't that amazing how many people today just don't like the way they look? They don't like how their body is. And do you find that they don't appreciate the fact that they can use their body to get around and to, that our body transports us around? So what's happening with these bodies? Why do people not like their body so much?
I think, Judy, so many people are caught up in this society that we're in, which is social media, especially a lot of the young girls. They look at these famous people on social media and they want to have this perfect body and teeth and hair and skin and everything. And is that really real? They're forgetting about who they really are as a person. That's more important than what their physical appearance is about. A lot of it is pressure, I think, from social media. Um, yeah, and the mirror, we can look in the mirror. They always say the mirror is our best friend, and we'll have a friend that'll pay us a compliment and we're like, I don't think I look too good today. We often do that, don't we? But everyone else is giving us compliments, but we can often criticize ourselves. And it comes back to that self-love of who we are and being appreciative. Your body is doing everything it can to help you survive, and it's there to it's got your back. But because it's an amazing, incredible machine. But a lot of people tend to focus on, oh, it's the lumps and the bumps or whatever, something that's happened, and their body's maybe not working as they would like it to. But my approach now is there's a lot of things I can't do because of my stroke, but I focus on what I'm able to do. I focus on the positives. What am I able to do? Rather than having this attitude of, well, I used to be able to do that and I used to be able to do this, and have that gratitude. When you fill yourself up with that gratitude for your body, that's where the self-love comes in and you start to appreciate your body.
Do you find that many people were brought up with this belief that they're not supposed to love themselves, that they had parents that maybe told them to not be full of themselves, to not talk about themselves, to not get too excited about who they are, or not to appreciate that they're beautiful because God gave them that and they didn't do it themselves. Do you find people that have dealt with that? Is that
Absolutely. It's a lot of it is this conditioned beliefs, isn't it? Growing up, I think I can't remember if it was an auntie that said to my sister once, um, if you were chocolate, you'd eat yourself.
oh
And then another auntie said, children should be seen and not heard. So
yeah.
you're put under this thing of like you're meant to almost like you don't matter, you're not worthy, you're meant to just sort of be quiet in the corner over there, and people lose their sense of self-esteem, and they don't think they look pretty because they're being sort of pushed away in a corner. So a lot of it is society, and I think so. No fault of our parents, because of their generation and their generation before them, is how they were brought up. It's that really, and then it has a knock-on effect as you go down the parental line, I think. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely conditioning.
Can meditation help us with those things?
Meditation can help you with. Meditation's all about connecting back to who you are. When you were born, you were this beautiful little baby that was full of freedom and joy and peace and happiness. And then we have all these conditions, beliefs and experiences, and we forget about all that. So meditation is all about coming back to who you already are. It's just that it's already there. It's just that we forget it because we're over there trying to be or do something else. So yeah.
Yeah, one of my students said to me the other day that she had finally realized that meditation was listening to God, where prayer is talking to God. And I thought that was a good distinction when she shared that with me. Because I think sometimes people think that in meditation they're supposed to say something or do something, and really and truly they're not, right? You're just supposed to be quiet.
And it's listen to that inner voice, that inner whisper, that inner nudge. You know what to do. There's like we're full of so much wisdom, but we get caught up in our mind with the excessive thinking and all the noise that we forget that. And when we come back to sit quiet and meditate, you start to see those things. You start to become like a silent observer, and then you see your thoughts happening, but you don't pay them any attention. Just let them go. Because meditation's not about. I think a lot of people think you've got to sit in this full lotus position and have no thoughts. Well, I've never done that ever. You have thoughts, emotions, sensations, memories, lots of things will come up. And that's just your nervous system healing. Just allow it to come on through. So you're literally giving your body that 15, 20-minute deep rest in a way to allow the nervous system to calm down and heal itself. And if, like I say, if you're quiet enough to listen, you'll get the answers.
I love that. If you're quiet enough to listen, you'll get the answers. That's a great statement. We should quote you in our magazine. I love that. Nikki, we're running out of time, but I would love for you to tell the audience how they can get in touch with you, in case they would like to touch base with you or ask you a question or hire you as a coach.
Absolutely. On the screen at my website is just my name, nikkihillhouse.com. Email info@nikkihillhouse.com. I'm on all social media, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, just under my name, Nikki Hillhouse. If you go onto my website, I run a free meditation class every Monday. You can book on there and you'll get sent the Zoom link. I also do a free clarity call if you want to have a chat with me about anything. There, just send me a message. Always happy to help. Like I said before, do not sit in silence. You're not alone.
Those are wonderful things that you're sharing with people, that they can come to you for a free session, a clarity session. I really like that, a clarity session. Um, I thank you so much for being here with us today. I'm sure we've all learned a lot from you. I know that I have, and I've enjoyed the interview. So I hope you'll come back and be with us again sometime soon.
I'd love to. Thank you so much for inviting me. I really enjoyed it. Thank you. My pleasure.
Thank you. And thank you for joining us today. And we hope that you'll come back with us again very soon, because we have tons and tons of interesting guests for you.